potentially the last game of the lower bracket finals here, unless TNC can dig deep and bring out what we've seen them do the past few days and get a game under the belt to extend the series here, or will they be stampeded over by Team Liquid as they've had in the past couple games? Is this enough? This draft leaning on some comfort, leaning on some variations of the past themselves. Renmar, what do you think of TNC's draft this time?
I have so many questions about this Claude. I get it, the Purify, but I'm always so hesitant to see a Claude go up against a Ruby in the major team fighting perspectives. You did point out to me something though. They could just make TNC or make BennyQt specifically just go for the split push plays, as the Liquid lineup is great for fighting together. But with the threat of a chip, how well can you actually split push when suddenly the entire cavalry can just show up through portals?
Yeah, I think that's how of classic Benny as well. Because there are just so many ways you could play around either the Y walks or the shortcuts. More now after they've adjusted the chip. And even those brief stuns you get from using the ultimate might be very useful to make TNC a bit more hesitant in terms of going in. Because that's all you need to counter the damage that'll come from them. Both the dives from Zyda and BennyQt.
Yeah, not only that, but this is, again, one of those things where, you know, I know we've been saying this throughout the series and even the past couple of days. It's like, yes, this is a hero that Chaknu loves. Takes the Grok really well. Mid lane, that's it.
Sanji looks like he's in danger. Zyda actually picks up first blood, and to our surprise, TNC get the better start.
All right, as I was saying, you know, they're going to have to be able to utilize and activate Chaknu in this, but a good early kill for TNC already to put them on the board here. Could 3-Bar be in trouble here?
Remember, Thorned Rose lands onto him. He'll try to go for the kill on JP though, but there's a flicker still available.
Whoa.
The wall also displaces them for just a bit. Sanji trying to go for the kill and has the brilliance just in time. He walks away safe, but Zyda nearly tried to go for him. And Lancey, both Lancey and Chaknu won't let him escape.
Okay, those little micro stuns coming out of that Grok has been helping TNC. McCall, TNC, and Team Liquid Philippines will get that turtle, as either committed his shadow kill into the pickoff onto Sanji in the mid lane, which is why it made a lot of sense for Sanji to commit and be aggro there, because he knew, and Team Liquid Philippines knew, that Zyda did not have Oogie shadow kill.
You gotta remember too, this is flying clouds. So everybody's back to the action very quickly here. That's something that could play a part. Also in consideration on a macro level, we've got a chip in play for TLPH. And so in that sense, you already know they're gonna be taking advantage of that. And it's almost, I'm wondering how this interaction will be with the shortcuts plus the clouds. Oh, whoa, like
there
that.
You go. You get your answers. 5-man rotation, or you don't even count it as a rotation, it's just a surprise attack towards 3-Mar.
Yeah, so now imagine if that's the late game and that's BennyQt trying to split push the lane. That is their response to that. So there's a lot of pressure on this Claude to really execute and time things well, while TNC Pro Team, they have been doing a good job of keeping things somewhat even. Team Liquid Philippines though, they're giving TNC a run for their money. They're countering and engaging, re-engaging to what TNC Pro Team has been doing.
I think in this way too, when we look at TNC's lineup, there's a couple things that can happen here. They've got great front line, they've got great utility with the Jushin. Zyda, again, as long as he can farm up and potentially even get some more kills onto this Hayabusa, covers that ground, I would say, from the early to mid-game, but then eventually you're leaning towards Benny, and that's the hardest part. It's unfortunate that it has to be that way a lot of times, where it's like, yeah, even the gold laner still, even though we've had this shifting in the meta, if you have that traditional marksman like this Claude, who also takes a lot of time to build up, it's going to be Benny that people are looking on their eyes for to turn the tides of some of these fights later on when he has that trinity of items here. So it's up to TNC to play that power spike, to play into it correctly, that serves this lineup its purpose.
Yeah, but TNC are holding the mid lane really well. 3-Mar, and the countless times he's actually cut lanes are working. Oheb though, ooh, does he get to lifesteal? He had the shortcut! He's actually able to escape the threat of potentially going down. He secures the turtle for Team Liquid. And now, as if nothing happened, they can just get back.
Oh, that was so smart that he just used the portal to get on out of there now, but he goes back. BennyQt's out to see him.
Oogie Shadow kills there as well, but the damage is not enough. He also escapes that small amount of damage he could have gotten from the walls.
Oheb, he's escaped death now twice.
He went to the minion. Unfortunate for Zaida, but at the end, Benny QT and TNC still get that turn. But look at Carl TZ. Line 3mar. They'll get him.
They're all going in. 3mar, they're not letting him off.
Yeah. They can't, because they can't allow this Hilda to just go around and be a nuisance in the map. They know that the Hilda's important to the lineup, and now it's putting a lot more pressure to the other 4 members of TNC. The next time we see 3mar, everything that he's going to be doing as a Hilda now in team fights, going straight to the back line, trying to burn someone down right away, getting that stun off with the power of wildness. That's just going to be a suicide mission time and time again for this Hilda.
Yeah. Sanji, though, holding this brush down bottom.
Yeah, I think he potentially wanted to see if he could catch 3mar again, but 3mar's just kind of opted to go ahead and leave that lane.
Yeah.
Be with the team for now.
They left it open for like a minute almost.
Yeah, I mean, the lane was being pressured so much that they almost didn't have a chance. 1v1 here.
1v1, Phantom Execution. The damage doesn't land. Laxie's here too, but Sanji will assist Carl just a bit. They don't commit either way, and we have again 15 seconds before the next objective, so that's probably what they're all preparing and setting up for.
Now, TNC Pro team, I like they're still keeping things proactive, but the risk again every time you see a chip is that it could just swing. But here comes Chaklu, forcing the flicker out of JP. But JP's gonna reconcile again. He can just drop down a shortcut and suddenly it's 5v5.
He's going in there.
He's looking for a target. There goes the shortcut. Sanji already going in. They don't know that 3mar's in that brush. He's gonna have his eyes on Sanji. There's the Dark Ultimate already forced out. Zaida securing the turtle, but 3mar will fall down. Lancey's all alone here, and I don't think he has a way out. Oheb picks up the kill while Sanford gleams out to safety.
Oh man, unfortunate. Again, the shortcut was used there. TNC does get the turtle, but the fight was split up.
Yeah.
And TNC unfortunately lost 2.
Yeah, Oheb had a great use of the ultimate there. I'm offended on point, which is what led to Lancey getting separated from the rest of TNC Pro Team. 1v1. Former teammates, longtime members of Echo together. Carl TZ looks like he'll be able to disrupt Zaida's jungling pattern. Now getting closer to a 2-level gap between Carl TZ and Zaida. And the items. Chapnu!
Oh, they commit in the mid lane. There's Benny to provide the blazing duet. JP goes down. Sanford might be next. Does he have the gleam? Oheb tries to save him, and now he survives. Sanji going in with the Dark Ultimate. Chapnu trying to reposition just a bit. Oheb will be joining as well. Carl, they're not gonna fight this anymore, right? Oh, they actually still want to, even though it's just 3. Carl TZ going in. But it's not, or it might not be the best decision. Thor goes to evade, but Zaida finishes off the kill.
Talk about patience for TNC. And even Zaida to wait for that
Benny.
Benny.
No, unfortunate for them at the end of it all. Team Liquid Philippines is still the one able to win that, even though Carl TZ go down. Now Zaida has to balance it out. He does a bit somewhat by stealing away the orange buff. Still a very close game. That 1-point-something gold lead for Team Liquid Philippines is actually a little bit more of a mirage. This is way closer than you think, but in terms of the map control, it is still Liquid coded.
Yeah. Just look at how well JP and Sanji are positioning themselves. Okay, fortunately Lancey checked the brushes, and I think that's also one of their strengths in their lineup. They have so many ways, Chaknu and Lancey, even the Yogi, or even the Quad Shadows maybe, to just scout where Liquid could be planning to go for a surprise angle.
Yeah, this has also been a better game so far for Chaknu too on this Gronk. He's been able to find some pretty good tech charges, and even the ramparts, utilizing the walls there in some of their engages. And if they catch JP out, that actually helps a lot. Oh no, Chaknu?
Oh, but they go for the guy with the tech charge first. And now they force it out of him defensively.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive advantage for Team Liquid, that if somehow Zaida and TNC miraculously get this, even Team Liquid's going to be scratching their heads. But this looks like this should go to Team Liquid.
Okay, here they go. It's half health right now. They're going to force it. Sanford takes a lot of the damage.
Okay, Throne of Ruin used. Doesn't use the flicker. Zaida might find the opening, but Carl still takes it for the team. Two-man knockup from the tech charge on Chaknu and TLPA. They just want to run away. Oheb. Oh, there goes the I'm offended. They still have damage. TNC are fighting back. JP, will he stay alive? It's only Carl left, but he
it! Jack Nu got his tech charge back just in time. Zyda was able to use the shadow kill also perfectly, and that was a tough fight. But Liquid, because of that massive stun by the Mamba, suddenly it goes TNC's way, but they still have minions and a Lord to deal with.
And Flying Clouds.
And Flying Clouds. I like to call that Jack Mamba surprise. Or also the Phoenix Flash, man. Either one. Jack Nu made that happen. Yes, they still got to deal with the Lord here, but they should be able to clear it up pretty well. They still hold on to the majority of the turrets. And that's going to keep TLPH in check now. They are going to be a little more hesitant.
Oh, JP.
Oh my goodness, the stuns! Zyda nearly got bursted right there.
That was almost a K-Bush moment.
Yep. That would have been a tough one, but as you see, Lord is cleared up. TNC will reset, get the buffs they need for Zyda. And that's one of the things here. It's getting a little more difficult for Zyda to kind of choose those windows where he's able to go ahead and get in, especially depending on when he decides to use the shadow kill. So he's got to watch out for this. But even for that last fight, you know, you guys probably saw it. Oheb pulled Benny Cutie towards the team, so he's got to also be kind of cautious of that, because that was while Benny Cutie was blazing duet and actually brought him towards the team more. So something that Oheb's going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, actually, that's another layer of the interaction between those two. So it's up to Benny Cutie to use that Purify at the perfect time. Save it. Most Claudes would want to Purify in and then Blazing Duet. Blazing Duet, Purify in. But if he can save it for when the pull off the Ruby kicks in, cleanse that, and then just be able to use the Blazing Duet with those little adjustments, the fact that you can move it, then that would be the perfect time. So let's look at Benny Cutie where he's at. Already has the Trinity build. Up to an Oracle, actually went for a Chop Suey build a little bit for Oheb. He went for the Dreadnought, didn't go for the full build anti-Cuirass, went to Oracle, and now has Sea Halberd. So now TNC might just get shocked by a sudden burst of damage coming out of this Ruby, while Zyda and Jack Nu understands. That was a bit of a bait, but Jack Nu, I think, got to see him.
Yeah, I think so too. So again, that's one of the things about having a chip in play. Macro stuff you can do here, the baits, everything else, the shortcuts obviously, especially in conjunction with the Flying Clouds. So this time around, TLPH doesn't have a clear shot at the Lord. They're going to have to contest against TNC for this one. TNC in a much better fighting position, even though 3mar dealt with a rough early game. He's in a point now where he can play up front and deal with it. Look at this, they're going to blitz it.
Oh, a flicker and the ultimate on Zyda. JP, he just wanted to look for Zyda, and that Throne of Ruin from Sanford catching so much members. I it too. Sanji will get to take down Benny before he goes down. 3mar trying to escape with a flicker. Zyda goes back in, will try to take the kill on JP. 2 members of Liquid fighting against 4.
Oh, it's the Baby Cakes duo. Are they still going to commit to this? Oheb's still fighting up front. They got to watch out for Zyda. That shadow kill could be up soon, but hey, they got the Lord. TLPH will continue to put pressure on this side of the map of TNC.
Sanji with the flicker forward to make sure that Benny Cutie goes down. It became a trade, but that is favorable for Liquid. They needed that Claude down, and the Lone Stallion found the target.
He wanted to be the sacrifice here. Carl Teasy though.
He's going for 3mar. 3mar in the bush. Flying Clouds. Benny's joining the fight.
Oh, there are Flying Clouds. Carl, you gotta be careful. The tech charge catches up. The Lantern Flare won't though, and Carl Teasy stays alive.
There's the Lord, they have to defend though. Towers in the mid are gonna crumble eventually for TNC Pro Team. Unless they can send Jack Nu and another body from TNC to defend it. Are they going to risk it? No, I think they're just going to give the tower anyway. But the Lord will not be able to be used that much. JP in trouble. Shortcut.
Oh, the ultimate was already forced out. But the conceal's still there. Sanji with the Dark Ultimate. They still have a Lord.
The damage from Benny.
Oh, the pull!
The flicker from Oheb! And the first damage, the Winter Crown's there, but that's not going to do much. From behind, the GOAT surprising TNC. They're just moments away from locking in, and it seems like that is where they're going. TNC get to clear the minions, but they have one more.
One more on the mid lane, and TNC has to deal with this. They're down 2 and 20 plus seconds till they're up.
Can Zyda and Lancey defend this? It seems like it's a no.
They did!
To actually try. Zyda clearing it all. A single minion left.
but there's another wave.
But
Zyna's
there's
still
another
trying.
wave.
Huge minion!